What is up, Pats Nation? It is Patriots Global here with another video, and yes, you read the thumbnail right, and yes, you read the description right. Cornerback Jason McCourty, brother of Patriots safety Devin McCourty, is actually graded the best cornerback on this Patriots roster. This isn't my opinion or anything like that. This is straight statistics and nothing literally any of us can argue. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be shocked about this news. Well, not really news, but about the statistics. And I'll admit, when I saw these stats and what the report said, I was honestly shocked to see how good that he is actually doing, and yet he doesn't get any praise. So what I'm about to give you is the quarterback ratings versus the Patriots quarterbacks so far this season, and basically that means the quarterback's passer rating when targeting against these corners. So I'll go worst to least. Now, worst is Eric Rowe. I'm sure a lot of you were expecting that, but Rowe, when targeted, the quarterbacks have a 150.5 passer rating. That is just insane. So basically, if a quarterback wants to complete any type of throw, just put it Eric Rowe's way because it is a short completion. Next up, we have Jonathan Jones, who is an 82.9 passer rating for quarterbacks, and he has not been doing bad. I honestly think he's been doing pretty well. Obviously, room for improvement. He isn't perfect, but he's been doing fairly well. Next up, we have Stephon Gilmore. Yes, Jason McCourty is doing better than Stephon Gilmore. Gilmore is a 64.2 passer rating when quarterbacks are throwing his way. And then we have J-Mac, Jason McCourty, and quarterbacks' passer ratings when targeting his way is 60.1. So nothing major from him and Gilmore, but he is about 4.1 of a rating better. To me, this is actually really shocking because the Patriots mainly play man-to-man, and Jason McCourty, and this has been proven, is a zone type of cornerback. He's good at just playing his zone and reading the plays. He's very good at play recognition. I mean, he's been in the NFL for a very long time. This is his third team that he's played with. He originally was with the Titans and then the Browns and now with the Patriots, so he knows a lot about the league and what to do. And we all know that the Patriots made the trade for Jason this offseason when the Browns were just going to release him. But quickly the Patriots jumped on the opportunity to get Jason on the Patriots as they tried to get him the previous season, but the Browns snagged him. And ultimately, if Jason McCourty became a free agent, he probably would have demanded a lot more money than the Patriots are getting for. And actually, which I think is very interesting, is that the Patriots restructured his contract, so he is even making less than he was supposed to. And yet he's become the best cornerback on this team. A lot of Patriots fans and coaches even were very skeptical of Jason McCourty. I mean, during OTAs, during minicamp, during training camp, he really wasn't getting much time. He really wasn't getting starting time with the first strings, and just ultimately really was not getting a lot of play time. We really didn't hear anything of him. Then we go to preseason, and he was just having a lot of issues. A lot of passes going his way were getting caught. He was kind of getting burnt for some touchdowns. And a lot of people were saying that he is equivalent or worse than Rowe, which I kind of thought the same thing. He was doing really bad, and when it's minicamp, OTAs, training camp, and preseason that you are not doing well, more often than not, fans are not going to have that confidence in you. But I am a man that stands by that how a player performs in training camp and even how they perform in preseason does not necessarily surrender how they are going to play when the regular season hits. A lot of time we see starters play extremely bad in preseason, and then regular season comes and they straight ball out. There's also times where we've seen players do really, really good in training camp and then that not progress to both preseason and the regular season. Alright, so now what I want to do is basically give you how much of the Patriots defensive snaps that Jason McCourty has played in each of the 4 games that the Patriots have played so far. So first we're going to start off with the Texans, where he played 8%, which was just 6%, or just 6 snaps in all. And then versus Jacksonville in week 2, he played 75% of snaps, so that's a pretty big jump from the previous week, with just 53 snaps in all. Then week 3 versus the Detroit Lions, McCourty saw another up in play time as he played 84% of the Patriots defensive snaps, with 62 of them in all. And then finally week 4 versus the Miami Dolphins is when he played the most snaps, or I shouldn't say most snaps, most consistent snaps. He played 100 of the Patriots defensive snaps, which was every single Patriots defensive snap, with 49 of them. So obviously that isn't as much as he played the previous week, or the previous 2 weeks actually. But that's just because the Patriots defense didn't play as much, because that offense was on the field more, which is what we like. The good thing though is that Jason McCourty each game has been playing more and more and more consistently, and usually more snaps. Now the next thing I want to do is let you guys know how his stats have been in each of those games. So like I did before, I am going to start off with the Houston Texans game, which was week 1. So week 1, when he was targeted once and that went incomplete, and he had a pass broken up. Week 2 versus the Jags, he went 3 for 3 for 31 yards, so every pass thrown his way was a catch. Week 3 versus the Detroit Lions, he went 2 for 4 for 10 yards, so out of 4 passes thrown his way, only 2 of those were completed. And then the most recent game we played versus the Dolphins, he went 1 for 3 for just 11 yards. So as we can see, McCourty obviously has been doing pretty dang well, and I fully expect him to keep getting the start, especially if it would come to him versus Eric Rowe, which I think is far past that. I think he easily has become the number 2 corner. But that is it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on Jason McCourty, and how do you think he's been playing? Make sure you guys like and subscribe, as helps me out very, very, very much. Make sure you guys share this video with everybody who knows we can grow the Patriots Global family. And other than that, I will catch you guys in another video. We'll give it a shot.